10% of all the new cars sold in Iowa come from the Karl Auto Group. Our neighbors trust us to have the largest selection and the highest standards. To our current customers, thank you. And to our future customers, see for yourself why Karl drives Iowa.
Your dealer for life, it's the Karl way.
Experience the world's largest sports book at your fingertips.
I'm Derek Stevens. I'm a lifelong sports bettor and owner of Circa Sports. We built this platform for bettors that want high limits and total transparency.
Featuring high limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional live customer service when you need it.
Hi, how may I help you today?
Download your new bookie today and start betting like a pro.
Circa Sports.
Hello and welcome into the Northwest Bank Studios for Cyclone Fanatic Pregame, coming to you from Hilton Coliseum. I am Jake Brend. No Chris Williams today. He will be on the postgame show. He's in dad mode, running a little bit late getting to the arena, but he will be on postgame. It's all brought to you by Karl Auto Group. Karl Auto presents all of our pre- and postgame coverage across men's and women's basketball. We couldn't do what we do without them. Appreciate Karl Auto Group. If you're looking for a new truck, a new car, they're your place. Check it out all across the metro. Karl Auto at karlchevrolet.com. Number 4, Iowa State welcomes number 16, Texas Tech, into the Mecca today. The Cyclones, last checked, favored by 10 points on Circa Sports Iowa, the over-under at 145. It's a tough spot. Like, Texas Tech lost their best player to a torn ACL, which is just devastating. Tech went from a team that you could easily see making a Final Four run, maybe playing even further than that, to a team that probably has a ceiling now of just the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8. But they're still a really, really good team, even without Toppin. Christian Anderson is one of the best guards in the country. He'll be one of the best guards that Iowa State has seen this year, and they've seen a lot of them. And they're going to have their hands full with Anderson, who's played at a really high level since Toppin got injured. They've got some shooters, and they're a motivated team. Grant McCaslin's a really good coach. What he's done in 4 seasons in Lubbock has been really impressive, and this has been one of his better coaching jobs yet. Now, they haven't exactly been tested since Toppin was out. They killed K-State, which it's not that hard to do, and then they took care of a red-hot Cincinnati team. So that was an impressive win, especially the fashion they did it in. But this will be a different test for Texas Tech going on the road without their best player for the first time. It'll test them a lot. It is worth noting this game is starting at 3:10. That was already announced by Iowa State. It's announced for 3 o'clock, but tip-off is at 3:10. It could be slid to 3:15 if the game before, which I don't know what game is on CBS before, whatever game that is, that it could push Iowa State back a little bit. So don't freak out if the game ahead is going long, because they'll get it off and running. Either way, I can't find which game is on CBS right now, but that's not important. The important game is Iowa State against Texas Tech. There's a lot at play today, especially the double bye. A win against Texas Tech almost completely secures Iowa State as a lock to have a double bye as a top 4 seed in the Big 12 tournament. That is really important when you're looking at, this team clearly has a good chance of winning the Big 12 tournament, especially if they're playing at a high level. They can absolutely make a run, and if you are going to make a run, it's a lot better on the bodies. It's a lot better on the team going forward if you can do 3 games in 3 days as opposed to 4 games in 4 days. So this is super important. Iowa State and Tech are tied in the Big 12 standings entering today, and then you've got a game with, a really, really good Arizona team on Monday that you're not going to expect it to win. That's what makes this one so important today. If you can win this game, it almost secures an undefeated season at Hilton Coliseum. I don't want to look past the Arizona State Sun Devils, but in all likelihood, if Iowa State could escape today as 10-point favorites and win the game, then It's another undefeated season at Hilton Coliseum, most likely. And that doesn't happen all that often. That's cool. And it also just sets up a trip to Tucson with gravy. It's a game that will have a ton of implications on Monday regarding the 1 seed. If you can win it, can you jump UConn? If somehow Arizona loses at home today against Kansas, then that game could also potentially be for a share of the Big 12 regular season championship. But none of that will matter if Iowa State doesn't take care of business today. And this is a story that has kind of been the story for Iowa State all season. It comes down to them playing their style of basketball. Texas Tech shoots a lot of threes at a really high level. Anderson, Atwell, like those guys are snipers, and that's how you win on the road. It's making threes. If you can hit 12 or 13 threes, it doesn't really matter who you're playing. You can beat anybody, and this team they've beaten Arizona at the McHale Center. Again, that was with Toppin. They took Houston down to the wire at the Fertitta Center. They beat Houston at home. So this team has played with just about everybody in the country. They beat Duke on a neutral site, and that was all Christian Anderson doing that back in December. So this team is absolutely capable of winning in Hilton Coliseum. It's up to Iowa State to make sure that they don't let that happen. It's up to Iowa State to make sure that they don't get comfortable. Turn them over early. Don't let them get open threes in the corner, because that's how you maybe dig yourself a deep hole and have to come out of it. And I don't expect Iowa State to do that. I think they figured out when they were at BYU what it's going to take the rest of the way. The type of desperation, the type of urgency they've got to play with. And Tamin Lipsey has 2 games left in this building. I think he's going to come out pretty urgent, and I think this atmosphere is going to be pretty good. It's on CBS. The crowd's going to look great. That's what I'm really excited for. JT Rock and New Mexico are they're playing on CBS. They are taking on San Diego State. That's actually got some bubble implications, as San Diego State is right in that bubble conversation. And speaking of the bubble, let's bounce around the Big 12, see what games we've got today. Houston already dismantled Colorado. 102-62. Tad Boyle got ejected. He earned it too through a clipboard. Good for him. He was not too happy. Obviously, the biggest game of the day happens at the same time as Iowa State. It's Kansas at Arizona. The Wildcats are favored by 10.5 points at home. That feels like a lot, but it also feels like Vegas is kind of begging you to take Kansas, which is a little scary. Utah and Arizona State are tipping off right now on TNT. A very meaningless game in the grand scheme of things. BYU is at West Virginia, 4:30 on Fox. BYU coming off of that double-digit loss at home to Central Florida. Only favored by 2.5. That's a sneaky spot for a BYU team that is vying for seeding right now. Are they in that 5-7 range, or are they falling closer down to that 8-10 range? That's a really important win that they need to pick up. But also West Virginia, they've got work to do, but it's safe to say that they are on the bubble. So that's a big game for both teams. TCU goes to K-State as 3.5-point favorites. TCU is Iowa State's best chance right now at an 8th, or is the Big 12's best chance right now at an 8th team in the NCAA tournament. Absolutely have to take care of business. If they can win that game, they've got to go to Texas Tech on Tuesday, which will be tough, and close the year with Cincinnati. Feels like they got to go 2 of 3 and maybe win a game in the Big 12 tournament, and then they can be the Big 12's 8th team in the NCAA tournament. In Central Florida, hosts Baylor at 7 o'clock on FS1 as 1.5-point favorites. Central Florida is securely in the tournament, I believe, but still a really important game for them as 1.5-point favorites at Waco. As far as today goes, I think I feel weirdly good about it as far as Tech has not – I mean, they haven't had a ton of time without Toppin, but they've had enough for Iowa State to have 2 full games of film and see how they can really attack them. Anderson is awesome. Iowa State typically does pretty good in these games against teams that are centered around one guard or a smaller guard at that. Not that Anderson can't take over. He very well could go and get 30 and make this game really, really interesting. But when it comes to the matchup, when it comes to the spot, another game at Hilton Coliseum, it feels like it's been forever since they've been in this building. I think it sets up well for Iowa State to be able to play some really good defense, create some turnovers, get out and run, and win this game by double digits. But you've got to prevent Anderson, Atwell. You've got to prevent those guys from getting really hot, and that'll be tough to do. Iowa State's going to have to play well to win this game, and if you do, like I've already said, everything's out in front of them. A massive matchup with Arizona on Monday. Don't take away from that matchup by screwing things up today at Hilton Coliseum. We'll see what happens. I'll take Cyclones in this one by 13 points. Chris Williams will be here right after the game immediately for our Cyclone Fanatic postgame, and then he'll be joined, or he won't be joined. He will throw to the After Dark crew for the postgame show, all right here in the Northwest Bank Studios, a great partner of Cyclone Fanatic. For now, I'm Jake Brend on the pregame show.